take advantage of
opportunity.
Right now
is the time to pick up the sport of entrepreneurship.
This is the time to
challenge yourself.
Come back stronger than ever before.
The true epidemic is fear.
Adapt.
Adjust. Be prepared.
Overcome
This economic downturn.
Who you take advice from plays a massive difference in how your future turns out. And I asked the most successful people on the planet what they're doing to pivot and really capitalize on these crazy and uncertain times, as well as what they're doing in this pandemic to make sure they come out better than they've ever been before. And I want to share these raw and uncut conversations with you. Now, don't forget, you can make more money in a down economy than you ever could in great times. Enjoy. Let me ask you this. What's your mentality when you know this is happening? You see the epidemic, you see the town of LA shut down, the city of LA shut down. What's your thought process? Is it, okay, how do I capitalize? Is it, oh my gosh, I got to take care of my team. I need to sharpen my skills. What's kind of the Lewis Howes mentality during a crisis?
It's first it's breathe and be peaceful, because you cannot make decisions based on anxiety, stress, and worry and fake news or whatever it is. So it's okay, let's breathe. And how do we become a leader with love in these situations and not just react quickly? So there's a lot of people around me that are reacting quickly, and I have to remind myself that this is coming from a place of fear. This is coming from worry, anxiety, and it's okay. But I don't want to get caught up in that and start making quick decisions based on anxiety and fear. So, I'm working with my COO. We're saying, okay, 2 weeks ago, I was like, I don't think this is going to be that big a deal. So let's just do business as usual in terms of our business, right? A big deal in the world in terms of what it's doing. But I was like, luckily, we don't have retail stores. We don't have to shut down. We're a media business, and we can shift quickly. So then everything shifted about a week ago, where it became real for just everyone on a different level, and businesses, online businesses as well. So I said, okay, what's the best decision we can make? If this is a 2-week quarantine or 4 months, what do we need to do? If no one buys anything, what do we need to do? So it's thinking of like, okay, if the worst case scenario, how can we make the best decisions so that we still get to I think we got my COO was going over 21 people, not including the people within agencies that we hire that are directly being paid by us right now. It's like, okay, we got to optimize this. We got to maybe cut back on a few things and make sure that people still are making money and we're driving the economy forward and not creating fear in other people. But we got to be smart and protect ourselves first. I think protecting yourself first is the key before you're abundantly giving to everyone. I think there is a time to also have an abundance mindset, but not be abundantly giving in this time as well. And just make sure you're protecting yourself first. So what's what I'm doing. And I am also not doubling down, quadrupling down on nutrition and exercise, because I can get lazy sometimes and be like, all right, I'm going to do 4 or 5 times a week, but not every day. And I'm going to have ice cream here, whatever. And I know how I respond and my body responds when I eat a lot of sugar and when I miss workouts and meditation. I don't think it's clear. I just am a little less sharp. I'm still effective and I still get things done, but it's like, I'm not my best. So I'm eating in every meal. I'm cooking my own food. I'm training intentionally. I'm just doubling down on my breathing, because there's so much anxiety coming at us right now that we've got to be on top of our game and be a leader from love.
Any ideas for people to be productive during the lockdown? Because I think right now in my head, I think the worst thing people can do if they're not ready for the crash or not prepared or maybe struggling financially with their business, I think the worst thing they can do is escape reality and watch Netflix all day and drink and eat comfort food. So what are some ideas productivity wise? And then I'll let you go.
Okay, so I was just having this conversation yesterday. Everybody thinks that investing has to be done with dollars, right? One of the best investments is your time. If there's something that you always wanted to do there's something that you wanted to possibly turn your business into. What we hear a lot of times is like, people are interested in real estate investing. How do I get involved, right? This is such a good time to start educating yourself on real estate, not only how it works, how it performed in the past, so that after this time's done, you're coming out of this thing stronger than you came in, right? And that's gonna now, make you more valuable because you're more educated. It'll burn the next 30 days so that you're not mentally going into kind of slum style, and keep you motivated, inspired, because it can feel yourself improving through what could feel like when all the days blend together. So I would say that keeping to a routine, I think, is massive in times like this. Wake up at the same time every day. Even if you don't have to, just staying on your schedule will keep some of the mental sanity. Make sure you're getting exercise in. But more than anything, I think people struggle when you don't feel like you're improving. And so if you can do something where you're learning or getting better at something, it's going to keep your mental kind of health up.
Love it. And I think too, people don't think about, like you said, they're thinking investment. It's always like money. If you have no money, the best investment you have right now is educating your mind and making your time more valuable. I think you said it on the dot too. When you escape reality and you're watching Netflix and you don't do anything consistent for yourself, I feel like your confidence goes down and your self-worth goes down. So right now is the best time to create that self-worth and to educate yourself and to be more resourceful. I love that, man.
100%.
I appreciate you.
I'm gonna say one thing too, because you kind of touched on it. You mentioned people that are going to be struggling through this financially, or businesses that are gonna possibly have to pivot or change. Use this next 30 days, and I'd recommend doing it as soon as possible, to buckle down on your budget. It's something that no one wants to do, but this is a time to bring expenses down. Even if you're going overboard, take a conservative approach. It's going to help you get through this, because right now, think about longevity. How do I withstand it? Not how do I get out of this right now, because we can't get out of it right now. So best thing to do, expenses down, know where dollars are going, invest in yourself, and keep to a routine.
So I'm going to go through a couple quick questions, Ryan. Is there anything, because there will be people that watch that are successful entrepreneurs that are already preparing and have been preparing, that possibly have money to invest, that say, okay, where do I put my money? So is there anything you can share in terms of investing money? Are you holding, selling, doubling down stocks, business, real estate? What's kind of your take on investing right now?
Go to cash. We don't know where the world's going right now. So I see people have said to me, greed. So markets trade on fear and on greed. And I don't want anything to do with fear or greed. You can no longer calibrate the amount of fear or greed in the system, because there's new levels of it, right? We've never seen fear and greed like this. And so, yes, you can make money short term, but I don't recommend, playing that game, because there's very sophisticated algorithms, hedge funds and people that play the game of fear and greed that are going to be capitalizing on this. Right now, one of the things that helped me get through these difficult times is I invested in a mentor and a coach. So I had John Maxwell mentoring me during, some difficult times where I had to lay off people. I had Tony Robbins mentoring me personally during some difficult times. So get a mentor, get a coach, a sounding board, because all too often as entrepreneurs, we have to make a decision. It might break our heart to lay off a friend or a family member, or to cancel a contract, or to tell somebody you can't pay them, right? Like, that breaks our heart. We went from being able to pay our bills on time to the world, changed out from underneath us. And so we need people that we can work with, people like yourself, Peter, that we can, have as sounding boards. You have to make some tough decisions, and you're going to have to make those decisions fast. Don't get caught up in the belief that things will get better in a couple of weeks. The first rule is, when you're going through a hard time like this, is don't set inaccurate expectations on you or on your team. So don't tell people, oh, it's going to be 2 weeks, or it'll be a month, or, everything's going to be back to normal in April, or everything's going to be back to normal in June, or we don't know when things go back to normal, or if they ever will go back to normal. So what we need to do, we know that they will at some point, but that could be once a cure and a vaccine is readily available worldwide, which could be, 2 years worth of living in a whole different state of sentiment. And the markets trade on sentiment. And so I cannot calculate what the sentiment will be because we are in uncharted territories. And there's going to be a lot of grief in the system and in consciousness as a system. There's going to be a lot of fear. And so right now, the goal is to develop products and services that are going to help people overcome fear, overcome grief, overcome some of the things that they're going to be hit with. And so we have to revamp everything that we're doing to meet the need of people that are going to be suffering right now.
And last question, Ryan, I want to talk about the people that aren't really being talked about as much as the families that were living paycheck to paycheck, trying to make things work, that are now out of a job.
Yeah.
Anything you can share with them? Any encouraging words for them?
You have to pick up the sport of entrepreneurship. There's going to be more problems created as a result of this challenge, this crisis, than you can imagine. And entrepreneurs solve problems. So find an opportunity, pick up an entrepreneurial vehicle, become an affiliate, become a direct seller, find something that's working. Be very discerning though. Don't just throw all of your eggs into one basket. But make sure that you're seeking opportunity right now.
Appreciate you, man. And
yeah,
I texted you earlier. I said, how's everything going? You said, great. Leaders lead. So that's what I want to share with you guys. Leaders lead. In times of crisis, most people watching are the actual person that is the rock for everybody around them, right? Yeah. So I want you guys to really take this serious and really buckle down and start mastering your craft and listen from someone who's been in the trenches, who's failed, who's succeeded, who's went broke, who's been through depression, who rose up and now is legendary in the entrepreneur game. And I'm excited about what's to come, man, in terms of entrepreneurship. Obviously, I'm very compassionate about what's happening, but that's why I called on you, someone I massively respect in this game of life, to share your wisdom. So much respect. I appreciate you, man. In terms of pivoting, what do you tell the person right now? Yes, they know to pivot. What are some things to think about in terms of their business right now going online? Is it focus on Zoom, get the scripts ready, focus on skills that pay, social media? What are your thoughts?
So great question. Look, I did a call the other day for a company I sit on their board, and they had $45 million that they wanted to give to their salespeople the next 3 to 6 months, just so they don't quit. So 6 months from now, when everything goes back to normal, it's good to go. I said, why would you give $45 million to your sales guys to keep them? I said, you think you're teaching good habits. Why would you be doing that? Well, this is one of the ways we're trying to. I said, stimulus doesn't work. I mean, I understand some people that have offices and all that stuff, but you can't take that approach.
Especially not with A players. Not with A players.
Not at all. And A players are offended if you give them money. A players are kind of like, listen, man, I can make my own money. Yeah. So I said, look, here's my suggestion. They said, what? I said, what is your process of selling your product? That's the thing you got to look at. So for instance, if I'm a real estate person, what is the process of selling my product? I have to look at what part of real estate I'm going to be struggling with. So if I know homes are not going to be selling today, okay, and people are not going to want to go into homes today, I'm going to have to pivot ASAP into Airbnb model, and I have to learn how to lease. And maybe I'm going to get into the market of saying, look, a lot of people are getting Airbnbs for their parents because they want them to go to a place to be protected away from anybody. So my target audience would be coming to somebody like you and saying, hey, Peter, do you have elderly parents? Yes. How old are they? 67, 63. What is your method? Are they around other people? No, they're not. Are they around other people? Yes, they are. What's your approach? So I would pivot to find an Airbnb. I got 6 places here, $1,000 a month for 6 months, $6,000. I make some commission on that. If anything, like we sell insurance, right? So our product is insurance and annuities. And our model entirely is built on face-to-face. So the entire model that we have is face-to-face. I sit down with you and your wife. I say, hey, how are you guys doing? Great. What's on your mind? Do you have insurance in place? Do you have retirement in place? Do you have any of this stuff in place? No, then I sell you, but it's face-to-face, right? What we did immediately is I took down all the products that we sell, and I looked at markets that need help today. For example, we typically sell to people that are 25 to 45 years old. So Peter, you would be in a market because you're 25 to 45, you're healthy, you're easy to underwrite, you're in shape, you take care of yourself, you're a family guy, you're an easy person to underwrite. But today, my approach flipped. So we went and looked at final expense policies, and we went and looked at annuities. Our biggest month ever in annuities we did was $8.75 million in a month. Like 170 annuities we do in a month. This month in March, we did 320 annuities, $25 million. We've never done $25 million of annuities. And last March, we sold 5,021 policies. This March, we sold 6,300 policies in a single month. Why? Because of pivoting and paying attention to a target audience that I wasn't paying attention to before. So now let's just say you're selling a product that you can't do that with. Hypothetically, if you can't do that with, you got to very, very quickly figure out a way to find a service that you can sell today that is not needed to be face-to-face, that people actually need. How you do that? With the technology platform that you use, whether it's Zoom. If you're not good at Zoom, you got to learn how to Zoom. You got to learn how to go to webinar. You got to learn how to do FaceTime, all of those things. And today, Peter, more than ever before, the ability to sell and the ability to negotiate is more important than ever before.
What do you tell that, not just the generation, but what do you tell people right now that want to break out, they want to level up, they want to be themselves, but they fear people and they're trying to fit in? Was it just continuously telling yourself that you need to level up or you need to break out of your own skin? What was it?
You know what I had to do, man? I mean, all those things are great. Leveling up, breaking out, it's great. But what I found out for me, all those words were just fucking words, man. I had to change how I viewed myself. So the reason why I was lying to people, because I viewed myself as a piece of shit. So I viewed others way above me. But the one thing that other people do so well is they lie too. A lot of people are pieces of shit. So this is the thing about, man, you have to be proud of yourself. And until you have pride, pride in yourself, you're going to always be finding acceptance from other people. So for me, the second I was proud of myself and I realized where I was in life, I stopped holding people on a fucking pedestal. Because by me holding people on a pedestal, that made me start to lie because I felt insecure. I got to catch up. But instead of catching up for real, I would catch up on the lie. The lie would catch me up, and then that would haunt me again. So I kept on digging a deeper hole, saying, man, you're not that. You're not this. You're not that. So then that would catch up with me in the mirror. So it kept on snowballing into the fact, to the point where I said, fuck it, man. I got to change everything.
I love that. So this reminds me of the story too, the self-talk. You were trying to get into an ultra marathon, and I believe the person, the founder of the event or someone that was in charge said, if you want to do this, you need to run a certain amount of miles in 24 hours. And you hadn't really done that before. And at miles 74, 75, you literally, you were broken, but that self-talk kept you going. Can you bring back to that story? Because I think that hits home on the importance of self-talk, and that kind of set you up for a massive momentum swing from then on.
Yeah. So basically, man, so throughout my whole life, once I kind of changed my mindset and started realizing, man, I have to go towards the darkness to improve my mental. So I don't care if you're making money. I don't care if you're trying to be a SEAL, a Ranger, trying to run 10 miles, trying to just be a better dad, a better mom. You've got to challenge yourself. So many people don't. So in challenging yourself is where you find all the answers. You find all the answers to every question that you will ever have in challenging yourself. So through my life, I started taking the different route. I started challenging myself. So through challenging myself, I started realizing how my mind worked. I started realizing how to motivate myself in dark times. The hardest thing to do in life is to motivate oneself alone. When you are alone and you're fucked up and you're suffering, the hardest thing in the world to do is pull something out of your fucking hat. When there's no one around you clapping, no one around you cheering, no one around you saying, you're good, you're going to make it.
What's up, guys? Thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. We have some amazing videos coming up, and we also go live only on this channel a lot of different times. So hit the subscribe button below or above if you haven't yet. Also, we really want to give as much value as possible to our subscribers. So if you text 619-826-9882, if you text the word below to this number, we are going to give you instantly our productivity blueprint on everything I've learned about productivity, how to increase your bottom line, how to enjoy more freedom, and really quickly achieve extraordinary results in your life and business. So you're going to get this entire master plan, how I plan my weeks, my prize fighter routine, understanding the foundation, how to execute properly as well as delegate If you want this blueprint, text the word below in the description to 619-826-9882. And also, check out the videos right here. One of them we made specifically for you based on your comments, and I think you'll really enjoy the other one as well. Talk to you soon.